it's pretty small. I cannot see it outside of my eyes. In the targeting pod, you can see something. I can't tell if it's metallic or what. And there's, I can see like a line coming down below, but I can't see anything below it.
Have you ever pondered the possibility that if aliens truly exist, why haven't they reached out to us yet? The year 2024 seems to be buzzing with an unprecedented number of UFO sightings globally, sparking speculations that this might be the year when aliens finally reveal themselves to humanity. Whether this potential encounter would be amicable or adversarial remains to be seen. For the time being, the surge in UFO and alien activity strongly suggests that we are not the only ones in this immense universe. Let's delve into the various instances where aliens have seemingly made their presence known. It's intriguing to consider the numerous times aliens have apparently shown themselves to us. These sightings are not just stories. They have often been documented by credible sources, including well-trained military personnel using sophisticated military-grade technology. This lends a layer of authenticity to phenomena typically dismissed as fiction. So, without further ado, let's explore these 5 astonishing UFO sightings. Each case has been meticulously recorded and stands as a testament to the increasing instances of unexplained aerial phenomena. These sightings raise intriguing questions about what lies beyond our planetary confines and hint at the exciting possibility of discovering extraterrestrial life. Number 1. UFO reported over New York's LaGuardia Airport. This is the latest sighting in the list. This shocking sighting took place just recently in March 2024. Michelle Reyes was on a commercial flight above New York's LaGuardia Airport on 25th of March. She was casually recording a video of New York's skyline like most travelers do as their plane gets ready to land, when suddenly, she spotted something very unusual. She saw a mysterious, eerie-looking black disc-like object zooming past her plane from right to left. The dark object was traveling at roughly 2,500 feet above ground level and was relatively close to the plane. The motion was really quick, but if we pause the footage, you can clearly see that this UAP was neither a drone nor any manned aircraft that we know of. Now let's see the footage in real time. Even if we consider the fact that the plane and the UFO are moving in opposite directions, it still seemed like the UFO was moving at tremendous speeds, like a fighter jet. No man-made drone yet can achieve Mach speed while flying. After recording the footage, Michelle Reyes immediately emailed the Federal Aviation Administration to let them know what she saw. But even the FAA are still clueless as to what the mysterious black disc was. And this is also not the first time that a UFO was seen flying near an airport. Number 2. UFO hovering over airport in Puerto Rico. This incident took place in Aguadilla, a city in Puerto Rico. The compelling footage was captured in April 2013 over the Rafael Hernandez Airport by a Customs and Border Protection aircraft. In this footage, we can clearly see that the forward-looking infrared camera tracking the movement of this UFO was finding it extremely difficult to keep track of it because of its intense speed and agile movement. In the footage, we can see a sphere-like object swiftly flying first over the airport and then over road and commercial buildings. Even the military personnel capturing the footage said that the UFO exhibited characteristics that cannot be explained by any known aircraft or natural phenomenon. Also, they added that this UFO was definitely smaller than an aircraft. So maybe it was an alien probe sent to survey the airport area. The CBP aircraft continued following the sphere for more than 10 minutes, and during this time it slowly moved towards the ocean. That's where things got weirder, because the sphere suddenly dipped inside the water. And when it emerged out of the water, it split into two UFOs while traveling at the same speed. The UFOs again went underwater, but this time, never to be seen again. The military personnel were perplexed and horrified as to what they had just witnessed. Surprisingly, similar metallic spheres have been spotted over U.S. military bases. Let's continue watching the video to find out more. Number 3. UFO seen in Oklahoma night sky. This is another sighting that took place just recently in 2024. On the 4th of March, an Oklahoma resident was enjoying a quiet evening with his kids, right outside his residence, when suddenly they spotted something abnormal above them. They saw an unusually bright object in the sky giving off luminous white light. Initially, he thought it was a shooting star, but it was moving extremely slow to be one. Then suddenly, the UFO blasted a white plume of air resembling a shockwave, which further perplexed the onlookers. Some actually think that this was just a rocket launch that is getting blown out of proportion. Surprisingly, on that same day, SpaceX did have a launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida, but that launch took place at a totally different time and location compared to the UFO sighting. So was this just aliens keeping track of all the space launches that we do? Recently, Elon Musk even said, "I don't see any evidence of aliens," as Starlink satellites have never dodged UFOs. Or maybe these UFOs are just too quick to detect. We will further see 2 other UFO sightings that shockingly got very close to the US military. Number 4. Baghdad Phantom. This sighting got nicknamed Baghdad Phantom as it took place in Baghdad, Iraq. This was an active conflict zone at the time of the observation. This sighting took place on 14th May 2022. 6 classified images were taken north of the city of Baghdad by the U.S. Air Force using a Reaper drone with a thermal camera. These images were later released by filmmaker and ufologist Jeremy Corbell, who also leaked the jellyfish UAP video at the start of 2024.
Vision only in the thermal spectrum could it be seen. But anything that looks like that appears to have a payload, that's a big deal. It could be dangerous, so these are high priority.
When these 6 images were stitched together, you can clearly see a disc-like object, quickly zooming from left to right. Fast-moving crafts are powered by propulsion systems like rockets or engines that create heat. But the thermal camera that filmed the object showed it was colder than its surroundings. This goes to show that it was definitely not a rocket. It also implies that the spacecraft was made using highly advanced technology. For a second, you actually think that you are watching the UFO footage over LaGuardia Airport, but in infrared. Both these discs share a striking resemblance and were seen just 2 years apart near national and military airspaces. Was this the same UFO keeping an eye on America's military activity? The U.S. military designated the disc as an unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP. Even ARO, which is an office set up by the Department of Defense to investigate unidentified flying objects, is now aware of this case and is carrying out its investigations. The filming of the Baghdad Phantom UAP was not an isolated UAP event in the area during this 24-hour period. UAPs consisting of various shapes were filmed during this UAP event series. But moving away from Baghdad, Another shocking UFO sighting took place right next to a U.S. military fighter jet. Number 5. Tic Tac UFO. This sighting took place in 2004, and the footage was taken aboard a Navy fighter jet from the nuclear aircraft carrier USS Nimitz. The footage was captured using a Raytheon Advanced Targeting Forward-Looking Infrared Pod, which consists of the most advanced sensors and tracking system in the world. The sighting of this oblong object took place at an altitude of almost 20,000 feet. Also, this UAP was not giving out any plumes of smoke, like a conventional aircraft. The fighter jet was moving at a speed of roughly 250 knots. That's almost 300 miles per hour. So this UFO was also moving at a relatively high speed, just like the fighter jet. The fighter pilot constantly tried to change the mode of tracking to get a better understanding of the UAP, but to no avail. And then, after almost a minute and a half of tracking the UAP, it suddenly accelerated towards the left at an unprecedented velocity, moving out of the view of the sensor. The fighter jet was unable to track it after that. Were the aliens already aware that the US fighter jet was tracking them, and were they just playing along? What do we make of all these UFO sightings? We have realized that in recent times, UFOs have gotten surprisingly closer to military bases, fighter jets, and even US Navy destroyers. Are these just extraterrestrials monitoring us, or are they making bold moves with the intention of waging a future war against humanity?
Orbit. Beyond the blue.